Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. Gonna get into an emotion here we might be struggling with, looking for a way to understand it or navigate our way through it. All right, we got two. Oh boy. Uh, we got sarcastic and spoiled. I don't really know how to go about this one. Maybe we are this person, or we are viewing this person. And sarcastic was out first. When I think about that, I used to be a really sarcastic person. And when I really got down to it, it's kind of like saying the truth, but in a jokingly way. It's like, let's take jabs at each other and pretend that we're just joking, but it's the truth. So I really haven't researched sarcastic for a while since I came to that realization a bit ago. It's been a while, but that's definitely a triggering experience. We look at spoiled. Uh, Depending on it, I feel like spoiled has to do with other people, you know, giving to the person in excess. They are, uh, they could be very needy or very high up in their mind that they are entitled to all of this. And in that belief, it is true to them. And they express that. And people do that. Like they continuously would give to that person because that is the energy they're embodying. When we really think of belief, our belief, if I'm co-creating and there's a mirror here, my external is going to prove to me my belief. We can deem it as bad or good, like we got a good person and uh, their mirror expresses good back to them. We can categorize people in the bad situation with all the negative personality traits, but their belief, it's going to be proven to them. They're going to suppress people. People are going to cower to them because they're walking in that energy. Our opposite for spoiled, I'm a little confused where this is going yet, so we'll see. Uh, the opposite of spoiled is, it's not outraged. This is wrong, but outraged. The opposite of sarcastic is direct. So normally there's a positive and a negative in these cards, and it looks like we got doubled up here. But if I was spoiled, hold on a second. Outraged, spoiled. Regardless, we'll go with whatever we got here. Obviously, if the spoiled individual doesn't get what they want, they would be upset. And we can, sarcastic is an easier way of saying the truth. Being direct, if I just told them how it was, they're going to get upset. It's going to be whatever. And as I said before in the beginning of being sarcastic is like a saying a way of saying the truth, but kind of walking around it, making it a joke. It's probably a passive aggressive way of handling things. And maybe if they're in this energy of always getting their way or having what they want, we deal with it in that way. We tiptoe around it. We give them what they need just to get by or interact or get through it. When if we were direct, it would turn into a mess. It would certainly turn into a mess. And we don't want to deal with that. So we're just obviously disservice to ourselves and the other. And what that really gets into is when we placate people's wounds or Traumas, to an extent, will always be an accessory. I've been using that word a lot this week. An accessory to their life, to them. We are giving up ourself or our life or our experience, our belief to accommodate theirs. And we see this a lot. We deem it a lot in the negative personality traits, all the ones we want to call bad people and mean people and egotistical people. And then we have all the people that we deem as good, or the victims and the hurt ones. And they are continuously suppressed in the mind by the energy of these more self-centered, energy-driven individuals because of their wound. The so-called, we'll call them the good people. We're the suppressed ones here to the self-centered, energy-driven individuals because of their presence, because of their authenticity to an extent. They're being authentic in their personality of how they perceive themselves. So we are suppressed through that up against them. And then our wound suppresses us even more because we can look at, well, I don't want to be viewed as that. I don't want to embody that. I don't want to be that. So I'm going to be over here and I won't be direct. I won't speak my truth. I'll just deal with them however to get through. But through this, I'm helping them support their image of themselves. I'm giving up mine or what I want to be. And I carry a lot of resentment or anger or frustration of how they treat me or how they talk to me or how they behave and how they always get what they want. And when they don't, they get upset. And inevitably, they're going to get what they want anyway. This is like the double-edged sword. We often see it as, we'll go back to the good people, the victim place, to this energy. And not vouching for anything here. We're just talking. But when we really look at that presence, those negative personality traits, the very self-centered ego, I am here, this is me, and everybody parts the sea to me, and gives me what I want. That imagery of self that they carry is them being their authentic self. And it is, whether it's good or bad, however it's manifested in the experience, it is true. And their belief is true. And that's the mirror. Not saying to go down that road and become that person. But if you view it as, over here, we're the victim in this position to their superiorness, if we will, that they believe that they have. Well, what are you? And why can't you be direct? Are we worried about the outrage? And instead we'll just do whatever we got to do to get through it and then be upset about their behavior. So it seems like we have to come to a place to muster up some energy, to take up space, to be ourself, and not worry so much about the repercussions, which, depending on where we're at or what we carry or what a wound or trauma may be connected to, is a difficult feat. And I was thinking earlier this morning, some of these messages I put out here really paint a fine line between coming from this place of the victim, the suppression, the wounded space that is the polar opposite of these negative personality traits or people we may have suffered or hurt us or overpowered us. There's a fine line coming from that healed space into this authenticity, to speak our truth, to be self-loving and everything before becoming that. And it's quite a contradicting game to come from there to meet in the middle. You would have to balance both. You have the polar, self-centered, egotistical driven individual here, and then the victim of that, the wounded individual here, the suppressed individual. You'd have to almost embody both. But we can't. We don't want to, because we don't want to be that. We don't want to be viewed as that. But yet, how are we going to empower ourselves and respect ourselves at the polar opposite? So there's always going to be a lot of resistance, because there's almost like this despise for that behavior, but yet you must embody it to some extent in an ethical or uh, uh, what's the word? Integrity, carry integrity in it for yourself. We got the Ten of Pentacles out sideways. Family dispute, family abundance. We're looking at just being sideways in the middle here. We are either in the victim space at the lower end, or we are at the top. And I'm not saying being in the middle means we only get 50% of whatever. We're just really leading with this balance and these polar opposites, that if I really don't speak my truth, and it doesn't have to be in a nasty way, it doesn't have to be out of a wound or out of our emotions that are uncontrolled all the time. Like we're moving into a space where these energies don't have the hold over our truth as we give it. Three of Cups, camaraderie. This is keeping the peace, getting along. I mean, technically this card is more like we don't have to change ourselves to get along. Whether this individual is a family member or part of a friend group or even romantic relationship, work, however it is, at first it gave a tone of trying to keep the peace in these units by accommodating their persona of themselves, their wound, their self-image, their belief, to keep the peace. And in return, you give up every bit of yourself through this interaction. You can, there's also the note of, if we've always been in this place, those people already know that. They can sense that energy, or that they always get what they want. And when we start to stand up or respect ourselves, obviously they're going to push up against that, but they don't know any different. Sadly, they don't have that respect for you. They will never see that until we start to express it, and getting through that hump, if we still want to interact with them or have them a part of our life. Getting through that hump is going to be very trying, especially if we've never done it before, let alone the person that we feel is so much more superior to us energetically, or that we just don't want to deal with the confrontation. We're going to have to push forward through it. Four of Pentacles, materialist. Normally when we're looking at the Pentacles, we're talking about material and matter and all those things. But I'm just looking at the original card of really grasping onto this. And this is an image. This is the persona. This is how I show up, a mask maybe. And changing how I view myself. As I said earlier, that fine line and stepping into that, there can be this like subconscious resistance that that type of person with those negative traits, I don't want to be viewed that way. I don't want to be seen that way. I don't want to be expressed that way. And for me to leave this place of victim or wounded space or suppressed, it is so hard for me to get up to that level in the middle here, because I'd have to embody something that I don't like, or because I saw it in somebody else expressed wrong or utilized poorly. And that's something we're going to have a self-discussion with. And when we're doing it, we feel like we're doing everything wrong that's against our core values or integrity. So there's a lot of resistance to step into this space, but you're entitled to be that, to be you, and to have a say, to take up space. Tower reversed. Denial that we are accountable here. We can look at everybody that carries those negative traits that are over the top, over the edge, as they're the bad people. They are the problem. If they just changed, if not to upset anybody here, but we are here for healing, accountability, and honesty. So by us constantly giving them what they want and tiptoeing around to support their wound, their insecurities, their ego, in return, we're looking at ourselves as the victim, and we're asking them, by complaining and saying they shouldn't treat us that way, they shouldn't talk to us, they should respect us, we're asking them to support our wound. So this is this double-edged sword here. Like, by us giving them whatever they want to keep the peace, to accommodate their wound, which is where we've always been probably through this, because we don't want the confrontation or the view or the repercussions or however it looks. And when we continuously ask or say, I just, they need to respect me, I can't believe they do that, or they behave this way, we're asking them to support that wound inside of us, the suppression, the wound that we carry, the insecurity that we carry. So it's not really fair to stay in either place. We have to do this through ourselves. And this is this fine line coming up to it. We have to carry both sides. Ace of Pentacles. Potential is endless. We look at our life as a whole, and when we really start to see our wounds or our insecurities and how they have made decisions for us, or we made decisions to support the wound, to protect the wound, to keep it safe, we're never like, what would happen if we would be true to ourselves and speak? Where would we go in life? What could we accomplish? That is a huge opportunity that we don't know. We'd be stepping into a new body, if we will, a new experience that could really go places. That's right, I forgot. Two of Cups, harmonious union. There in the card we see two people. This really always gives off any type of union. Majority in these types of readings is with self, our true self. When we bring in the wounds and the insecurities that we all carry here, they're the loudest, they're the biggest person, they're the loudest voice. They're usually the ones making the decisions to protect that, because it hurts when it gets triggered or it tickles it the wrong way. So it's always the loudest one in the room. And our true self is the smallest, the faintest little voice that we hardly hear because the wound speaks the loudest. And if it doesn't get what it wants, it gets upset, and we have to go into recovery mode or protect mode or pacify it, however it has to be pacified. Coming into this true self to express ourselves in a fullest form. Excuse me. Knight of Wands reversed. Fleeting interests. The opposite. Adventurous. We could not walk in that space because of the wound, because of the fear, the insecurity, whatever it's connected to. We were going to pull an animal spirit card to close. All right. Now, I don't know a lot about these. We got the dragon. And I'll probably read on the book here in a bit, but when I think of a dragon, a fire-breathing dragon, but then I also think of like Shrek, and it seems like there was a good balance there. There was a very loving dragon, but also an angry dragon when it would get triggered. This is protection, but also self-respect. We can carry both. We can be a very loving individual, and the second someone crosses a boundary or disrespects us, we can present ourselves and show them or respond to them in a way like, what are you doing? I'm not treated that way, or I'm not spoken to this way. Your problem is your problem. Don't put that on me. Don't project onto me. This is who I am. And at times we can think of the dragon being alone often, and not by punishment, but by protection. And that can be a double-edged sword as well. We can go in there for far too long to protect the wound, to not allow anything to infiltrate our space, to trigger us. But we could also look at that as going into that space to heal it. And then we have to remember to come out and play again. Pretty sure the donkey and the dragon got together and fell in love or something along those lines. We can have all of that. The past does not provide the future if we desire it not to. That was all butchered up. How could I say that better? The future is only going to be the past if we make it that way. If we heal a wound, it's not going to happen again. We've ended that cycle. It can't energetically fit in unless we make it, unless we're still in that space. Let's see what the book has to say about the dragon. All right, everybody, we found it. Seeing one's most true self, balancing the ego. We touched on that a bit. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath, and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It is almost as if we're traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror deep in our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. This is the power of the dragon breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this potent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride as we traverse even the most difficult terrain. The dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their Agni is dim. Agni is described as inner fire or sacred intelligence. May even just the mention of the dragon stir the embers of intelligence within you. This is coming back from fully into self. And at a time it is difficult because all we really know is what we were or what we experienced through our life beforehand. And we have to drop the behaviors and allow ourselves to flow. Whatever was pacifying or medicating or placating a wound or a trauma inside of us, it's time to let that go, to stand in our truth, to be true to us, versus supporting others' wounds or asking them to support ours. We're going to meet in the middle, and we're going to be that authentic individual. Gonna leave this here. If this resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you need more help with it, check out oceanprizes.com, and I will talk to y'all later. See ya.